I had a dream last week that I was with Trump. I was in a community and there were white condominiums everywhere. And there was an education center. And in my dream, it was a condominium complex or a living complex and an educational center that was all in pure white. And Trump was in or part of or built this complex. And I was with Trump, and he had something with him that he was turning in, that he was bringing to like the authorities. And it was funny. I looked at him and I said, "Let me guess, a frog?" And he said, "Yep, a dead frog." And I remembered there, in dream interpretation books, they claim that a frog is an evil spirit. So to me, that meant that he is building something that is, it's clean, it's refreshing, white, it's pure, and frogs symbolizing evil spirits, that he is draining the swamp, is the way I took that. So, anyway, what I want to share now is I had a couple of thoughts and I wrote them down. First of all, think of this. Trump told us about Operation Warp Speed, and he said that it was about the military going out and about and administering the vax to those who wanted it, and that you had a choice. And at the time, I thought that really didn't add up. I thought it sounded really unusual to say that there would be an operation and that they would be having the military out in the streets administering a vax. That was really, to me, it was code for something. And then later on, now we fast forward, and what are we hearing in the news media? We're hearing that Biden is making this stab mandatory. And we all know that Trump campaigned on draining the swamp. So this is me conjecturing, but I wonder if soon we're going to see the military out in the streets and if it's going to be part of this justice, and if arrests are going to start occurring, and it will be unavoidable to see military out on the streets. And it's very possible that that is getting ready to happen, because it's almost like the two stories are converging, the Biden narrative and the Trump narrative. And we were told in the Q circle, if you follow the Q movement, that the military would be the only way. So, and obviously God has to step in. God would be using people to bring justice. And a lot of the prophets were saying just that this was a plan given by God, and it would be to avoid civil war, and that we would be, we basically see the swamp drained. Let's see, what else did I put down? So I believe the two things are related, and I believe that we're soon going to see the military break out in the streets. And I think it's going to be chaotic, because I had a dream that we were soaring in chaos. Then the next thing that I made note of, now I question everything I'm hearing in the news, because we could be hearing narratives, whether it be the Patriots narratives, or, as we know, the New World Order or the elites narratives. We've been hearing narratives from both sides. And we were told that we were watching a movie. And we know that the news has not always been forthright, and they've created a lot of things, they've made up a lot of stuff. So, what if this inflation that we're beginning to experience is actually a sign that this currency that we're currently using is going to collapse, this fiat currency? And what if the republic is actually being restored? You're going to have to see inflation. Inflation is a side effect of like a currency that's collapsing. And we've been told that we're going to be backed by gold and silver again. So I think it's very possible that what's happening, these excuses that they're giving for inflation, it's actually because we're getting ready to see a new currency backed by gold and silver emerge. So, oh, and the last thing I wanted to mention, if you look up Dabu 7 or Dabu 777, he had a little excerpt on, they were looking to enlist cyber Marines. What do cyber Marines do? Is it information control, information planting for this movie? I don't know. But if you think about cyber Marines, it's as if there's information warfare. So these are just a couple of notes that I've had in the last couple weeks and a couple of things I've been thinking about, trying to tie things together between what we're being told in the news, which we know not all of it's true, and what God is doing, and what we've heard from the prophets. And it's interesting because we know we're in the midst of it. And I think we're going to see some chaos soon, because I did dream that we will be soaring in chaos. So I'd get prepared, and I'd love to hear what you guys think on the stuff that you're seeing out there. Let me know.